Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you how to cut a straight pencil gown, long gown, full gown. So for you to cut your gown, you will need your full length measurement, which is from the shoulder measurement down to the gown length of the person. And you need the bust, the waist, the half length, the under bust, the hip measurements. So that is for the upper part. You need your bust measurements, you need your under bust, and you need your half length. But now I'm not cutting the upper part, I'm cutting the down part. So you remove your half length measurement away from the full length measurement. The full length we are using here is 56. And for a straight gown, when you are measuring a straight gown, you stop your measurement at your ankle side. You don't let your measurement to be more than the ankle measurement, so that the straight gown, the pencil gown, will not go beyond your full length measurements. Assuming you are sewing like a 6 pieces or a flare gown, you can allow it to pass your knee measurements, your ankle measurements rather. So but for this straight pencil gown, the measurement you are using is gown length 56, our waist is 26, then our hip is 38. So you take your material like this and you fold the material into 2 equal parts, and putting in mind that you fold your clothes using the biggest measurement, the biggest of your measurement, and adding 2 inches allowance to it, so that you manage your clothes. And the bigger part of this measurement is 38, and you divide your 38 into 4. If you divide 38 into 4, it will give you 9.5. So you add 2 inches to that 9.5. When you add 2 inches to 9.5, it will become 11.5. That's 11.5. So you drop your half length. Firstly, let's confirm that 11.5. Yeah, you even have 12 here. So to be on the safer side, you can use 12 inches as your measurement. Then you make sure the clothes is folded right. So we fold our clothes right. Then you drop 16 inches, which is the half length measurement. I'm not dropping from here. I'm dropping at the other edge of the scalloping edge of the lace. This is a lace material. But if you are using like an Ankara material, you put M line, your M measurement here, so that you can fold it in, turn it up with lining. But this one, we don't need any turning up. You just put the lining direct to the cloth. So this is half length 16. Then you measure your gown length, which is 56. This is our gown length 56. So for normal straight gown or straight skirts, if you want to measure your hip line, you put 8. We use 8. We use 9. We use 10. We use 12. It depends on the kinds of hip the person has. But for these measurements, hip 38, we are dropping it by 16. We drop the half length 16. You know, if you are joining anything here, we add the half length to this body. So this is the 16. The hip line measurement for this gown is 25. Then the knee measurement is 34 for the gown. If you are cutting a gown for like, let's say hip 32 to 40 to 45, you can use this measurement. But for the person that has big bum, you can use 26 for such person. But for this measurement, hip 38, I'm using 25 for the hip line, then 34 for the knee. You can also use 35 for some other people, tall people, but this one is 34. The person is not too tall. So this 24 for the hip line. Then you start your measurements. The hip line is what? The hip measurement is 38 divided by 4. That's 9.5. You add your 9.5. Then you add 2 inches for the seam allowance. You take your waist. The waist measurement of this person is 26. 26 divided by 2 is 13. 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. So you put your 6.5. Then you add 1 inch for that, 1.5 side allowance. Do you get 1 inch for that, 1.5 side allowance? Then you move this together. If you have your curve ruler, you can use it to curve, but if you don't have, you can still use your straight ruler. So for you to determine your knee curve, your knee length, this you've seen your knee length when you drop your 16 half length to the knee measurement. This is 34. So your hip measurement is what? 9.5. You minus 1 from the hip measurements, which will give you 8.5. Instead of you adding 2 inches to the hip line measurement, you add 1.5. Because if you see, when we are our body shape, when our body is coming down like this, is big. When it comes to the knee length, it has another tiny shape. So you move with your ruler or your curve ruler, if you have a curve ruler, then you move it down. You measure this measurement downward, 10.5, 10.5 downward. So then you can see the way the measurement is, the shape is lovely. This is the way we cut the front now. So after cutting, I'll show you how to cut the back. Yeah, for the back measurements, you fold your clothes like this and you place the front on it. You fold your clothes into two and you add 2 inches allowance to your back measurements. Make sure you use 2 inches. The 2 inches downward is, you are using it for 2 things. One, it serves as your zip allowance, and secondly, it serves as a slit to the back of your clothes. You know, this is a pencil fitted gown. If you don't put slits, you won't be able to work with it. And when you want to open your slit, you open your slit, but at least when you drop your cloth, at least 15 inches 20 inches. Normal opening of slits for a long gown is 20 inches, the normal one, the normal opening. But some people will tell you, oh, please, so I want my slit to be open very well. You can just make it, add 2 inches to it, that's 22. But the normal way of opening the slit of the back of your clothes is 20 inches for a long gown. So this is the measurements. This is what you use if you are cutting a pencil straight gown. Even if you are making it a short pencil gown, this is all you need. You take your knee measurements, your hip measurements, your waist measurements. If it's cutting your short gown, after you've dropped the half length, it may be the princess that, like the princess that I dropped in one of my videos, you can put it at the upper part. It may be a padded normal bust pad or a corset or normal dart measurement. You can put it to add to the half length here. Then you drop the half length, which is 16. Then you put the gown length. If the gown length is 40, short gown length, you put it, you add the measurement to it. And if it is an Ankara that needed to be folded, just add 2 inches for the folding or the hem line here. You add the 2 inches. Then you, when you want to cut the lining, you cut the lining to 40 inches. You won't add the 2 inches of the hem line to it. Then you use this lining to turn the allowance up like this. It gives you the gown. It's very easy. And if you want to put lining, doll face or taffeta or mirror to this, for me, I normally like making my lining reach the down part, just leaving 2 inches at the down part of the gown length. But some people normally like it to, their lining to be half length here, stop at the knee length or whatsoever. But for you to have a neat job and a nice outfit, you can just make your lining go down. You can use ordinary lining, you can use taffeta, you can use doll face, but I prefer using taffeta, doll face, or mirror taffeta. So I think with this, I'm able to put you through the cutting of a straight pencil gown. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Please, the subscribing button doesn't take you anything. It's just a notification. Turn on your notification bell to get notified whenever I drop a new video. Don't forget, you'll be learning a lot from this channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Tell me any other thing you want. Let me know where you are facing challenges in this fashion work, please. So if there's anything you want me to enlighten you on, don't forget to comment on it. This is, you can just, after you've dropped 16 here for your zip, it is a long gown. If the long gown doesn't have if the neck of the gown is not too low, just drop after the 16 you've dropped here. Make sure you buy a zip size 24 inches zip and put your zip to reach 23 inches, so that whenever the person wants to open his or her zip, it will come down freely because of the hip measurement. So I think with this, you are free to go. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Okay, let me open it. You open this, you open this 2 inches, you open it and turn it with your lining, or any of the lining, any of the interfacing, can turn it with it. So this is it. You stop your slits here at 20 inches. At 20 inches, you stop your slit at 20 inches and put your zip allowance. You can just make it 9, you can make it 10, anyhow. So that's all. Thank you.